Hi guys, welcome back to my channel. My name is Aqua Toy, and it has been a minute. Sorry, long time. You know, life has happened and we're here now. But you know, I have some news for you guys, So today, guessing by the title down here, we're gonna be talking about 5 IT companies that hire new graduates with no experience at all. So, get my handy dandy phone here because I got all my notes because I wanted to make sure that I'm going to be extremely useful to you guys and knowledgeable. So the first company that I will completely recommend based on not just my experience and I have like friends and some colleagues that who have worked for Amazon, and out of all 5 of these companies I've worked for one. So I'm not going to tell you which one because of confidential reasons and everything, but I can give you guys a good briefing on like how you guys can get the job there and why it's good. So I'm gonna give you like something that's like American based and some that are Indian based and how you guys can get the job. So the first one that is very good is Amazon. And the reason why I'm choosing Amazon is because of the fact that Amazon has these internships / apprenticeships kind of thing. They're like year long, and it kind of transitions you into their job role. They have it for like the business, the IT that I've seen, and like managers and things like that. So the reason why I'm saying Amazon is because as long as you pass their assessment, like you're good, and all you need to know is how to pass the assessment and what they're looking for, and it's pretty much very like straightforward. And I know people who work for Amazon right now, and if you guys need me to tell you the little deets, I can talk to them and have one of them on here on how to get a job on in Amazon and pass that assessment. The second place is Infosys, and Infosys is great for IT completely. Like it's like full IT, and what they do and how their company is completely different is that they hire you and then they contract you out, in the sense. So what basically happens is that they hire you, you're full time, so this is great. And they have different projects that you can be on. So you could be with in Atlanta with Allstate, or you can be in with Toyota in Texas, and they kind of like work you like throughout and they build your skills. So the best thing about this company is it gives you that whole boot camp experience, but you're full-time, so you have your guaranteed job. So they're training you all that time, like it depends. There's some that people work from 2 weeks training to like 15-week training, and they have some hubs in like Indianapolis, I believe. They have some in Dallas and North Carolina, and basically you go to one of these hubs, as they call it, and you would train for however long your training is. They're paying you, they're giving you stipends, and they basically like build you up, because a lot of Indian companies believe that as long as you have like a good solid basis, that you could basically learn. So they will teach you like Java or like big data, or even like some consulting, in fact, and which is like really great. So like you don't have to do those boot camps that cost you money. Like really, I'm kind of against those boot camps because they cost you money, then they swoop up, fluff in your resumes, and basically like kind of making you lie. So this is a company, which is why Infosys is great, is that you tell them you basically just graduated, they pay you a good amount of like salary, which is like $50K and more, which is great for someone who has no experience. They give you that experience, and then you're able to travel, which is great, and work on different projects. The only downfall about this is that because it's such a large company, a lot of like these, because they're all a large company, you kind of like need to be your own like motivator, and you have to be your own voice. The next company is Cognizant, which is also another kind of like Indian-based company also, and they kind of do the same thing as they hire non-experienced people, because they believe like non-experienced people are the best to like start off like plain, basically, like they could teach you. So a lot of places like this is very good for teaching, and where you feel like you want to learn, these are great companies. My fourth company is Discover, and Discover is American based, And the reason why I'm choosing Discover is because they also offer the internship apprenticeship programs, and it's like really good with like banking and IT, which I think people should really get into, is like business and IT. So a lot of these banking, like Bank of America, American Express, Capital One, and Discover, like they offer a lot of IT programs, and they kind of transition you. I know two people who work for Discover, one in Phoenix and one in their headquarters in Riverwood, I believe, and they are excelling because they have room to grow, because when it's such a big company, when you have such a big company, there's so much room to grow, and you're able to kind of like change careers in the sense, you build your way up. If you're saying you're doing IT, and then eventually you want to go into like business, like I'm doing, and like management, like business management, big companies like that are great, because then you could start off like getting like the technical IT part and then managing, working your way up. And I know for sure that these companies, but if you want to do like for Discover, you would have to go to the Illinois, like it's either like, I think they have Chicago and Riverwoods, yeah, that you have to go and you have to live there, but then they'll train you in the sense to kind of help you build your way to where you want to go, which is great, especially if you have no if you have no experience. And the pay is good, especially at Discover. I can guarantee you that the pay is more than Infosys and Cognizant would pay you, because of the fact that the Infosys and Cognizant and the last place, they tend to, they're investing in you. So all that, what's it called? The boot camps and things they're doing, where they're training you, they're kind of, you're kind of taking that from your pay, because you're going to be paid like from a range from 55 to 60,000, which isn't bad. You get like summer, like vacations and stuff, but it's not as high as it would be if you had, gone to like an American-based company, if you understand what I'm saying. The final place that I'm talking about is Tata, or it's also known as TCS, and Tata is also an Indian-based company, and Tata is basically like competitors. So like literally the three of them, Tata, Infosys, and Cognizant, are kind of Indian-based companies, and they kind of are, they're the ones who believe in hiring people with no experience. So if you have no experience in like, you've never worked outside of like internships and things like that, these are the places that will get you there, like that will hire you as long as you have that good solid foundation. But the problem is with those three companies, unlike the Amazon and Discover, which are American-based companies, is that when you get it, like when you get into it, it's hard to move up, in the sense like they won't increase your pay a lot of times, because you're there. And this is not even with Indian-based companies, it's like regular companies too, that I've heard a lot of places don't want to increase your pay or don't want to give you like a bonus, even though you are improving. But once you get into those companies, it's all about like the hiring process. I know for a fact, for the three Indian-based ones, the Cognizant, Tata, and Infosys, that the tests are incredibly hard. Because like the Amazon ones are like basically like scenario-based questions, but for those other three, they're like hard math questions. And I know when I was going through some of them, I took two or three tests, like assessments. I took 3, and I went through 2 interviews before they offered me the position. So like it's like you're like there. And I know that there was another place where I got, and I didn't get the job based on the fact that I didn't pass the interview. So imagine that you've gone through 2 tests and another interview, and then you're on the last one, you're like, oh yeah, sorry, you're not gonna get it. You're really pissed, and like you're like, but everything happens for a reason. But now I'm able to help you, and when I was able to get a similar job like that in one of the other companies, like I already knew how to go, because the interviews are hard, and if you want me to talk about them, they're say it down below. But the interviews are extremely hard, not because it's like hard questions, because there's like 4 people there asking you different questions. So you have one person here that's asking you about technical question. You have one person here that's asking you about like what's your roles in like management, like how can you work in workplace management and things like that. And another person asking you like, oh, where would you like to, if you could be any superhero, who would you be? And I'm like, okay, like these are all different kinds of like areas. Like this is it's a bit weird when I'm seeing like I'm trying to be like, we're like, oh, technical, and then like on the other hand, like, oh yeah, I'm artistic and I have to show myself like sorry, I think I hit the mic, but I have to show like all like dimensions of myself, which is great for an interview. But if you're just getting out of college or you're about to graduate, which is the reason why I made this video, is because this is the middle part. We're basically in March, so like people who graduate in December, they need a job, and people who are about to graduate in May, you need a job also. So this is like the middle point. This is the make or break point, basically. Because if you've been out of school for 3 months, you really need a job. Because I know that's what happened to me. Because I'm just like, okay, I need a job. Like once I hit that like 2.5 months, I'm like, I need to find a job. And I started like researching on YouTube, which is why I'm making this. So if you don't mind, click that like button down below and subscribe to me. But yeah, back to it. It's really hard trying to please everyone, especially if it's 4 different people. It's different if it's just like a one-to-one, which is one of like the first interview. The first interview was like really simple, for like here, like one-to-one, like you and another person, and it was pretty good. It was the next interview that you're just kind of like, this is a lot of people, and I didn't know how to properly do that because no one really teaches you how to go through a group interview, especially in college. They only talk about one-to-one, and communities aren't really doing that, or companies aren't really doing one-to-one like that anymore. And before you get the job, they want face-to-face with like 4 different other people group. I've seen like my sister talk about when she did a job with like with NASA, there was 12 different people there. So like, everyone wants something. So, you're gonna try to meet everyone's need, and which is extremely hard, but it's not impossible. So again, we'll go back through all the companies. So the first one I said was Amazon, followed by Infosys, then Cognizant, then Discover, and Tata, or TCS in the sense. And these are like the great 5 companies for like no experience that they're willing to train you. You're not paying anyone for the boot camps, and they try to just kind of get you where you are. So if you have any other questions, please let me know. Put it down below what you need to know. Like if you have any questions like regarding this, or if you want something more like the interview based. And thank you for watching. I hope I didn't take too much of your time. I really try to give it like under 10 minutes. So please, sorry if I did, but thank you guys for coming back to my channel. Again, my name is Yami Toy, and you guys stay blessed.